Alright, let's get into this. I've been seeing a lot of these videos around where people are just like kind of playing stuff and or doing something really low effort, which is really interesting because YouTube has been so driven by just content creation in general has been so driven by this like retention span thing, and that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Um, I just got asked to log off my job because of a mistake that I made, and it was just like a moment of, man, I really don't care about this job at all. And, you know, obviously it's just a paycheck, it's just getting me to the end of the day and whatever, but like it just really made me kind of frustrated and made me realize that like for like almost 10 years now I've been like trying to do something with my life that's creative, that's driven by the idea of doing something more. You know, I want to be an artist. That's why I pursued animation and stuff with my spare time. But that's not all I want to do. I want to make music. You know, I want to just create content as well. Just, but like, not that. That's the thing, right? Is that I think what I'm starting to notice is that I don't want to be a content creator. I don't want to be an influencer. I don't want to be this huge name that everyone talks about, you know, for every breath that I take and every little thing that I do. I just want to make really cool stuff. And I think what used to frustrate me about, or what does frustrate me about this is that back in the day we used to have YouTubers, you know, and a lot of people made their start with like skits and a lot of stuff, and then at some point, you know, in the, I don't know, maybe like 2016 era or something like that, we'll say, it stopped being, oh, I'm a YouTuber, and started being, oh, I'm a content creator, you know, because I go to these other platforms and stuff too. I make stuff on Twitch, I make stuff on TikTok, and all this other stuff, which is fine in theory, right, to spread yourself out. That makes sense, but yeah, I don't know. It stopped being like, oh, I'm a YouTuber, and started being, I'm a content creator, and that term, I think, in itself is kind of a it's just a way to umbrella all these different little things that I think that should be separate. You know what I mean? I think musicians should, you know, in the grand scheme of things, be different than painters, and I think painters should be different than animators. I think. And not that one person couldn't do all these things, but when you label it under content, it just like, you know, automatically monetizes that idea, right? The idea of making content, right? Like it's like, oh, I'm making this content, and it just frames it in a way it's like where it's like only for money no matter what. And I'm not saying money's important. In fact, I would really like to be in a position like the people that I've been following forever, like someone like, I don't know, the Game Grumps, or, you know, Markiplier, or, you know, just to name a few drastically different people, or like Glitch Studios, this animation studio that's been popping off recently with you know, Amazing Digital Circus, and I believe they did Murder Drones and everything as well, which is just, you know, good for them, and I, you know, I wish that same stride for everyone who makes content and whatnot. And I also see a lot of creators, quote unquote creators. See, I'm using that term like it's like second nature. I'm seeing a lot of YouTubers, seeing a lot of creators who aren't necessarily benefiting from the algorithms and stuff like that I follow to death, you know. And one of those people is like Cloudy McDoom. Highly recommend checking out his stuff. He makes skits and stuff, but it's a little different than just, oh, skits. He gets really real, and he gets really personal with himself throughout those videos. And this is all to say that, like, this is kind of, you know, that's always what I've wanted to do. And I think that that's the thing, is that in some ways I've been chasing something that just isn't viable nowadays. You know what I mean? Like, when YouTube first came onto the scene, when Newgrounds was originally a thing back in the day, you know, internet animation and internet creativity could not have been more free, you know. Like, it was like everyone could just get their shit out there because it was just this fucking free-for-all, and it was gorgeous, it was beautiful. I saw so much shit. I still jump on Newgrounds every once in a while and just try to intentionally lose myself. I try to intentionally go places that I wouldn't normally travel on the web through new ground. Like, I try to intentionally seek out stuff I wouldn't normally, just have catered towards me, just to see cool shit. And I guess that's part of the issues that I have to go out of my way, right, to find that stuff now. And I'm a very unique person in the idea that I would go out of my way to do that. Like, a lot of people just kind of let the algorithm feed them everything that they have coming to them. They got the For You page and whatever, and suggestions on YouTube and whatnot, and that's fine. But I guess to get back to my original point, it's just like like, just venting my frustrations here about the job that I'm having. I'm not gonna say anything negative about the job itself, just that I had an issue at work today, and it just made me kind of reframe all this, because it's like, I've been living, I'm almost, I hate to say this, man, but I'm almost 30 years old, which is crazy to me because I don't feel 30. I feel like I finally have earned the right to be an adult in some ways, but I still don't even feel like an adult. I'm just some fucking random kid in my head. And I don't know if that's ever really going to change. I don't think it ever... I think anybody who, like, doesn't kind of just feel semi-childish, all the time is lying to themselves, basically. Nobody knows anything. And that's just kind of how it is. But point is that, I've been struggling so hard to do something with my life. And I still want to pursue that, but it's just getting to a point where it's like, I don't even know. I'm so out of depth at this point. And not only that, but, like, I'm... as much as I could maybe pass for younger, I'm not necessarily this skibbity sigma, zoomer that, like, might... I don't even know if that's, like... That's probably not even... that's like old lingo at this point, you know what I mean? And, like, I guess my point is that, like, I don't feel like I'm as capable of being relevant if I don't have something built... Oh, well, shit. Rip. I don't feel like I'm as capable of being relevant if I don't have something built by now. And I do think that I've had, like, some minor successes. Like, I've built a community called Anyone, which is my whole Discord server, and it's this really freeing... it's this really art-free, creative server. It's a really wholesome place, and there's a whole community there. I could leave that Discord, and it would function on its own. There's so many nice people on there, and I love all of them. And, they really go out of their way to... kind of accommodate each other and learn from each other as much as building each other up, and that's amazing. But that's, it's still very small, and there's nothing I can really do with it outside of try to keep growing that community. And for myself, it doesn't really function like, I'm not getting monetary benefits from it, which, I don't really give a shit about money at the end of the day. But, I got student loans, I got rent, and I got food to eat, and the economy's not really getting better. So it's just something that I have to constantly deal with, and so, like, it would be nice to make quote-unquote content, and be able to survive off that content, and I have no idea how I would even begin to get out there nowadays. And it's really frustrating for me because it's doing YouTube isn't necessarily the fulfilling purpose in my life necessarily. It's more the idea of just doing something that is fulfilling to me, but literally every fucking job that I could work, every job that I have worked is not personally fulfilling to me. Like, I've worked in restaurants, I've worked customer service, I've worked call center jobs. That's actually the type of job I'm doing right now, and it's nice because I work from home, but it doesn't leave me feeling satisfied, and it also doesn't pay enough for me to really do shit with it. So, all that being said, I'm just gonna run through this town and go to the next thing. Maybe I'll come back later. But all that being said, it's like, I guess, like, that's the thing, is I banked so hard on being someone, and I don't necessarily want to be... I want to be an artist in this sphere. I don't want to be an influencer or content creator, someone who's constantly pushing stuff out and constantly... Like, those videos are just so, like... they're cool to see once in a while, you know what I mean? Like, whoa, I bought 1,000 things off Amazon and whatever, and like it's like, yeah, like I'll watch them, but it's like there's no soul behind it anymore, you know what I mean? And it's like every once in a while you do find someone that really just synergizes with you, or I find someone that really synergizes with me, and I really like it. And there are people that are still making content that is souls, but it just feels like, you know, that used to be the sauce of like what a lot of the stuff was coming at, you know. When I think about like a lot of the things that I used to watch back in the day, I think of like Rooster Teeth and like you know, Rocket Jump, and stuff like that, you know, like old Death Battle and stuff like that, where it was like the production value was like, you know, it was very internet, but it was very like good for internet, you know. And it was very like there was so much soul behind it, you know. And I think that's very important. Owie. But I think that's very important for a lot of stuff like that. And it just I don't know, like I just like everyone just feels like some random Joe Schmo with a camera nowadays, you know. Like there used to be a period of time where there was a lot of charm to the home video aspect, and now everything just feels like TV, you know? And, like, if I wanted to watch TV, I would just watch TV, and I'm just so, like, it just makes me nauseous thinking about how everything is just, fuck, whatever. How everything's just like that. Anyways, let me get back to topic, or off topic, I guess, I don't know. The point is just that, like, I've thought very hard about this, and it's like, I want to do animation and or, you know, I would even be willing to just like be the like streamer type, you know, just stream video games and whatever, but it's just like there's just zero momentum that anyone can build nowadays because everything's so saturated, you know. And it's like on one hand, you know, like now is the time to do it because it's like it's never been a better time to be on the internet. There's so many people on the internet, but it also is just like, you know, that lucky break just has not been happening for me personally, and it's driving me nuts, I would say. I don't even know what that lucky break would be in context at a certain point, because I've made a lot of things, but I haven't made anything special, I guess, and that's fair, you know. Like, I still have a lot to learn and grow and whatever, but it would just really, really nice if I could do something where somehow I'd be able to sustain myself while also having the ability to grow, because I think that's the biggest issue that I've been having, is just that, like, I have to deal with all this other life bullshit, so I don't really have time to work towards these things, you know? And I still like make it work somehow, you know? But it's like I'm never going to be able to get there if I don't have the time to do the things I need to do to get there. And ultimately, I'm just like, oh, well, you know, imagine you were like a quote-unquote content creator and you were doing it, you know, what, you know, would you be happy? And I'm like, I don't know, you know, like, I think if I was doing a lot of stuff that I wanted to make, but I don't even know what I want to make anymore, you know? Like, back in the day, I was like, oh, I'd want to, you know, play video games and make videos about that and whatever, and I still think that that would be cool, but I don't even know how to, I'm just so, like, out of depth with, like, games that I care about nowadays. Maybe I gotta go back to, like, the source, you know, and just, like, gush about shit or something like that, but, like, even then, it's like, I'd probably just make, like, 1,000 videos, you know, that would be, like, okay, and then, like, they would just get no views, and it's like, who am I making this for? And it's like, I want that answer to be me. I want that answer to be me, but whenever it's me, I just make my stupid little animation shit, and or I work on, like, Willpower, which is a series that I've been working on for a while, and, I guess the thing is that, like, those aren't going anywhere anytime soon, you know? And, oh, fuck. I guess my point is that, like, in order to work on those the way I need to work on those, I would need massive support in those. There's no balance. There's no way I can find balance in the way everything's set up right now. I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I guess that's my point, is that, like, I don't want to be a content creator. I don't want to be this nauseating person that's just always in your feed talking about some shit. You know, I want to make stuff because I'm happy and passionate about the stuff I'm making, you know? Fuck me, dude. Whatever. Um, you know, like, right there, like, I swore. You know what I mean? And, like, what, is that gonna demonetize this video? Is this video even monetized in the first place? Do I even care? Am I making any money? No. You know, and, like, I miss when that was kind of, like, the vibe. Because even though people were making money, it also, like, led them to being a little bit more creatively free, and I think that that's very important. And I really think that swearing is, like, such a small thing on the totem list of issues, but yeah, man, I mean, I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point about it, and maybe being a little moany about it, because it's just like, oh, I miss the good old days. But, like, for real, dude, like, thinking about doing any sort of just regular ass job the rest of my life, like, I've tried to be like, oh, you know, like, I should be satisfied with what I have, and I should be okay with what I have, and I should learn to like jobs that are not necessarily the best, you know, to get by and do whatever, and then learn to, you know, take little victories where I can. I know life's not perfect and whatever, but genuinely, if I think about, like, oh, you know, like, I'm gonna be in this, like, office space dealing with customers, like, the rest of my life, or doing this thing, I'm just, like, genuinely ready to just kill myself, dude. Like, it is not something that I would say lightly, but it's true. Like, every time I think about it so long, and then so, like, I think about it short term. You know, I think, like, oh, this is just this is just getting me by. This is just getting me by. But I've been doing that for, like, 8 fucking years. No, even longer than that, dude. I mean, I was doing it before I even went to college the first time. So, like, we'll say, like, fucking 10 years at this point. And every time I get a little too frustrated, I'm like, oh, you know, this is temporary. You know, this is whatever. Like, I'm going to get a better job eventually. I'm going to do something better eventually, and I'll be more passionate towards it eventually. And it's just, like, taking too goddamn long to get there, and it's making me question if that's even going to happen. Like, you know, like, I just, like, I want to believe that, it's possible for me. I want to believe that I can do something that puts me out there and gives me some sort of fulfilling existence, you know? And, like, it's so frustrating seeing random fucking twats on the internet doing this, like, horrible shit, like, I don't know, like Jack Doherty or something like that. I'm not trying to name anyone necessarily, but, like, dude is a menace factually, and yet he's just making money. Or, like, Andrew Tate or something, like, you know what I mean? Like, these fucking idiots who it's just so frustrating to see these people just do so well and feel like, hey, I'm, like, you know, a flawed person, but I'm pretty all right, and I just want to do my own thing, and I feel like I'm wholesome and entertaining for the most part, you know. Maybe make a crash joke here and there once in a while, but for the most part, I try to bring the vibes and just chill, and you know, I just want to nerd out about. I just want to care again, dude. I just want to care again. Like, I feel like I don't care anymore, and it's just because I'm so fucking wired thin from my job and from life and just everything how it is, and I just want to break. I just want to break for a second. I just want to just get a break, you know, like if I could just be someone. I don't want to be big, you know. I'm just thinking someone with like 100K subscribers, doing his own thing, supported by people, just like one of those kind of people. You know, we all have that, like, one YouTuber that we just follow that has, like, the support from their community, and they're just, like, good people, and they're not extreme enough that they blow up hugely, but they're not, like, they're not unentertaining either. They're just, like, super entertaining, but, like, for you, you know? And, like, that's what I want, is I just want to make stuff that gets in, like, a small sphere, I guess, and lands where it needs to land. But, like, and I feel like I do make stuff that, and I'm the kind of personality that could do that, you know? But it's just like, wherever I need to be, I'm not landing there. And so I'm just tired. And it's like, I would like to make so much content about, like, so much raw content, you know, about, let me, I guess, keep going with this. I just kind of paused because what I was saying was important, I guess. I want to make raw content though that like man, I was making a series called Gush Crush, and I made one episode of it, and it was really just me gushing about Final Fantasy X. I wasn't being like, this is a Final Fantasy X review, you know, and like going like angry video game nerd or like whatever people like, you know, video documentary, or not documentary, what is it called, video essay or anything like that. I was literally just like, do you remember Blissball? That was cool. And then I would just like talk about my own experience like playing the game. You know, it was less of a review. I wasn't trying to be like, oh, you know, like 10 out of 10 or something like that. I wasn't trying to convince someone else to enjoy the game. It was just me talking about the game itself and how much I enjoyed the game. And why I enjoyed the game. And it wasn't like, oh, I enjoyed the game because the mechanics are cool. I was like, no, like, remember how like Blissballs looked? They just looked cool. And it made me want to swim when I was a kid, and like that was cool. And like when I played soccer, like it was just like this ADHD filled video. And but like, you know what, the thing is, I really enjoyed making it, and I felt so great making it, and I felt like I had like some sort of purpose making it, because it was just like so much of my I just had so much like love and adoration for that game, and I was really feeling it at the time. I felt like I was able to really just relive that, and that's what I want. Is I want to feel like a kid opening up a game manual in the back of a car like 24/7, you know, like that's how I want to feel, like that sense of wonder. And the problem is that like I know it's not like, oh, I've just grown up and I just like don't feel that way anymore. Like I know it's literally just like the pressures of everything that I got going on in my life, because every single time I'm given time to myself, regardless, you know, I literally like find that aspect of myself again. Like literally I'll go out for a run or something like that for like an hour, and I'll find myself again in that hour just listening to like old music from video games and other stuff. You know, like I'll really find that part of me that's important, and it's there, and it's always gonna be there. It's gonna be there for you, you know, and it's gonna be there for me. It's gonna be there for everyone. But you know, we constantly have to suppress it because of like bullshit. It's straight up just bullshit. And, like, just all this bullshit, and I'm just so sick of bullshit. And I know I'm just preaching to the choir here, probably, if anyone's listening at this point. You know, it's like, oh, you also live on this planet, like, cool. But like, you know, like, man, I just like, I'm so frustrated because I see like, I just really want to be someone for other people, I guess. Like, that's always been. Like, originally, I don't even want to be an artist. Like, when I was in high school, I was literally, like, I would watch Peanut Butter Gamer. I mean, I was still, like, working on animation stuff in high school. I was really rudimentary at that point. I had, like, Flash CS3, and I did not know what I was doing, and I was not putting, like, the kind of effort that, you know, I would need to really, like, learn anything at the time. But I was still dicking around with it and learning stuff, and, I don't know, like, there was a point where I thought I would be, like, you know, like, a gaming review YouTuber, just, like, oh, I'm the dorky kid, you know, and I like games, and I'm just gonna talk about that, because really, like, that's all I cared about when I was younger, was just playing video games and watching anime and, you know, this nerd shit. And it used to be, like, niche, you know what I mean? It used to be cool to, like, be in that community, because, like, you'd be like, oh, yeah, the normies, like, I hate to use the word normie like that, but, like, it was kind of like that. It was, like, you know, like, because there would be so many people that judged you for like liking anime or playing video games or something like that, you know, and then you just like 10 years later and it's like the most popular thing ever, and like you can't find anything without being somewhat attached to these things. And it's like, okay, that's fine, you know, it's good even that like it's getting the respect that it deserves. But it still just, like, makes it so much harder to stand out, I guess, in these spheres. And it's, like, Peanut Butter Gamer was, like, I mean, Angry Video Game Nerd was, like, the original, but, like, I would say Peanut Butter Gamer had his own personality that was very strong. But now there's, like, you know, video game review channels are like a dime a dozen, and like everyone and their mother is making a fucking video essay about like Super Mario RPG or fucking Bloodborne or fucking whatever. It's like, okay, cool, that's fine. You know, I don't want to like bring back like, you know, gatekeeping or anything like that. I think it's great that people are able to gush about what is important to them. But I also think it just like frustrates me because it's like I feel like no matter, it just feels like I'm so disconnected from myself because no matter who I am, someone else was me first. You know, online. You know, like every idea that I have, it's like, oh, someone did it. Let me think about this with like anime, and I do have some like original animation ideas, but it's like, you know, how can I get to do these higher quality things that I want to do if I just genuinely can't get it out there because there's just so much bullshit that I have to deal with on a regular basis, I guess. So, I don't know. I guess that's the video. I just wanted to vent, I guess, because I had a poor experience at work today, and it just got me. I kind of had this idea to just kind of record this for a while. This is gonna go on my main channel, I think, my animation channel, not my gameplay channel, which has been pretty dead for a while. So if you're watching this and you're still here, thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments if you, I guess, relate with this, and maybe we can start a discussion. Maybe we can come up with ideas. Maybe we can just vent how we feel and just, you know, feel good that there are other people out there who maybe feel the same as us, even though it kind of sucks. You know, at least it sucks together. I think that's very important. You know, it's like how you get through like work sometimes. You know, you have your coworkers and you're all just like, ah, fuck this sucks, you know. And it allows you to kind of like just vent out all the same frustrations, and it's important. It's a community thing. So but yeah, let me know in the comments below if you have any of the same frustrations or anything like that. And you know, I'm not gonna ask you to subscribe or anything on this one. This is just a low budget or a no budget, just me fucking dicking around playing Shovel Knight and venting about stuff. So I wasn't trying to make this too. This isn't me trying to make content. This is me just making a fucking vent piece because I'm pissed off where I am in life right now, and I want to use that as motivation somehow to get me somewhere. But I just don't know where I'm going anymore. You know, before I saw myself as like an Oni or a you know I don't know, you know, Aaron or Danny from like Game Grumps or something like that. You know, like Rubber Ross, or I guess like my biggest inspiration is like Monty He was an animator back in the day. He made stuff for Rooster Teeth and whatnot, and I just saw myself as someone who would like do something, and I still feel like I want to be the person who does something, and I still feel like I can be the person who does something, but I don't want to do what's meta right now. And that's the thing, is like, that's what I'm saying when I'm saying I don't want to be a content creator. I don't want to be a you know, influencer, right? I don't want to be like fucking these knobs who just like talk about politics and shit all day. I want to be creative. I want to make creative stuff that changes your perspective and makes you happy or sad or feel emotions and shit. And fuck, well, that's down there now. But that's kind of like, you know, where I want to be. And so like, I guess I just wanted to vent about that and talk about that, I guess. And so yeah, thanks for listening, I guess. I'm just gonna upload this raw. I'm not even gonna edit it at all, I guess. And just let it be. But yeah. Alright. Bye. Fuck.